Hi, it's Alex from Groovy Entertainment. Today's video is about the TV shows that took place in California. And I got, let's see, one, two, three, four, five. I got five TV shows that was from the 60s to the 70s that took place in California. And let's see how long this video will be. Now, the first TV show I have is Streets of San Francisco. Now, this was a a police show that took place from 1972 to 1979 or 77. So 72 to 77. And this had a nice theme song to it. You had Michael Douglas and and the old guy. I forget what his name is, but he's the guy with the big nose. And they had to go up against a lot of criminals. Mostly mostly they were dealing with a lot of criminals that dealt with drugs and gun violence mostly. And this was a pretty good picture. But I think this was during what's that company name they have it in here? No, they put it was I forget who made these shows. It went CBS. CBS bought the rights to these shows after a while. But this was the first one. And if I can remember who made the show, I'll put it in the video. Oh, let's see if they tell me inside the DVDs. Think about these DVDs. This is like every episode, and it won't help me. Now I can't shut it. That's why sometimes it's not good going one out of script. Now we got Rockford Files with Jim Rockford and his dad Rocky. They fought the criminals. Jim did in California, and he was just a private eye, like Magnum PI, but before. And this had a good theme song also. You could say all these TV shows I'm going to show you all had good theme songs for the most part. And this ran from 1974 to 1980. And this is the whole complete show. Now the cover is mine, the case, but everything else is from the company itself. Because when you buy the DVD version of Rocket Flower, it comes in a box and paper sleeves. So I just bought this thing so I can put them all nice and neat and they can last forever. And what can you say about this TV show? The only thing that people don't know about is that his phone number is the same phone number from Ghostbuster. So that number came out in the 70s. And then in 84, 10 years after, oh, yeah, 10 years after the show came out, they used it for the movie and made the number popular again. And I don't know if that number been anywhere else, but it was in these two shows. This one first, and then Ghostbusters second. Then we got Adam 12 from 1968 to 19. This is just the first season, but this show ran from 68 to 75, and this was Jack Webb TV show. He made a hand. He made. I think he made three big ones. His Jagnet, this one, and Emergency. And this is just two cops, Malloy and Reed, going after this bad guys in California, Los Angeles, California. So this is kind of before CSI and all that. And this was kind of kind of a spin-off of Dragnet because this guy was in a Dragnet episode when he was a cop that got in trouble for doing for yeah, he got in trouble. but he didn't really get in trouble. They tried to accuse him for something, and he kept saying that he was innocent, and then they found out he was. Then from that show, they put him in this show, and you could probably get the whole complete season by now. I bought this over 10 boy. I bought it in 2007, so it's been a long time since this came out. So our next show, oh yeah, it's two and the voice on the car radio when they have to tell the cops where to go and what to do was Mary Tyler Moore. She did all the car radio voices, the female voice, and she didn't want no credit for it. So I don't know if they paid her for it, but she did like the guy that did the Darth Vader voice when he didn't want no credit for it because he didn't want to mess up his career. She did the same thing, but she did it. She just did it just because she was a friend of one of the person on the show, and they let her do it. And then she did her big TV show in 1970, her Mary Tyler Moore show. So that's some trivia. Now our next one is Dusky and Hunch, a buddy cop show. This was the second buddy cop show, if you think about it, because Adam 12, I think, started it. But you really can't count Dragnet because they went kind of by the book, and he didn't really help out his partner too much. If his partner failed, he just said, it was his fault. But these two, they helped each other out, just like in Adam 12. And this came out in 1975, and it ended in 1979. And this was on the same level as Streets of San Francisco. And this was real violent at the time. And there's another show that I don't got next to me that was made in California also. And this had an okay theme song. It wasn't the best theme song out of the last three shows that I showed you. It was pretty good though. It had more action than Adam 12. And you have Huggy Bear. Let's see. You had Aaron Spelling who did this TV show. And I think yeah, because Rockefeller was the guy that did A Team Miami A Team Magnum PI, The Great American Hero. He even did Adam 12 too. I think John Carlin or something. He's the guy who was all around the typewriter at the end of the '80s shows. And this was a fast paced cop show, and and it was kind of a comedy also. This was kind of less serious than the other two films. I put this in the same level and and Rockefeller because Rockefeller has some comedy in it also. So these two were kind of comedy cop films. You had a private eye and you had two cops. Now our last one, and I might grab the other one too after I show this one. Now this is a heavy one. There we go. This is the emergency. And it's not really this is everybody you can say. Of course, like I said, it's the top show that would put into California. Now you had the two doctors. Hmm. I know he did Laramie. Then you had Julie, who was his wife in real life. You had these two buddies with a whole bunch of other people. And this ran from 72 to 79. And this was just people that was helping other people out. So firemen, no, paramedics and fire people. Just- And it's this with a lot of action in this show because you got to see them save people and everything. And it was kind of graphic for the year. And this is Dusky. And you know all those episodes in their own little containers. And I should have wiped this one off. And it comes on TV so you can still watch almost all these shows I'm showing you on TV so except Dusky and Hutch. He's not on TV anymore. But all the other fours, all three are on TV. And if you remember any of these TV shows as growing up, seeing them for the first time, or seeing them as me repeat formats, because I think some of these shows in the 80s and some of these shows in the 90s when they were repeating them for the second time, then I got to see them again now that they're repeating them 100 times. Now, let me get the other TV show, and what you're going to see, so honestly, I'll just get up and get it. I'm not going to pause and unpause. You just won't see me for a while. Okay, now I'm back. Most people know how to do it like a skip. I don't even pause it or walk away and come back. Nah, this is swap. This had the best theme song out of all of them. I keep trying to show you. Now this was real action, and Aaron Spelman did this also. And this is just the first season. They released the whole season a long time ago. But when I bought it, they only had the second season. Now this show only lasted for 2 seasons. This show got canceled because of its violence. A lot of people complained, kicked the show off, and I think a lot of these shows, a lot of people complained, but this was more violent than the other ones. Now, if this was made in the '60s or the '50s, this probably would have lasted longer, or maybe in the '80s too. But the '80s had a lot of violent shows after this came out, and all these characters did other things also. Like this guy did Vegas years later. Now, this show ran from 1975 to 1976. It didn't go too far. The theme song hit number one, just like Rock Profile theme song hit number one on a chart when it came out. They both came out the same year. I think they all came out the same year. Cause it came out in 1975. This came out in 1975. So they had three good 75 hits. There were a lot more shows out there, but these are what I have. Because they're not cheap by any things. So if you've seen any of these TV shows, you can leave it in the comments. It'd be nice to see if anyone's seen these shows originally on. See, I know this. See, this came on ABC back in the days. I forget where. This was the ABC show also. I don't know if this came on ABC or not. It don't tell me. So I think this was the ABC. I think this came on ABC also. So there were like three ABC shows. Now I'm not too sure about this because I know Charlie Angel came on ABC because that's their number one big show when that came out. So I don't know if he was the ABC king or just his couple shows made it. I think this was a CBS show, if I'm not mistaken, at the time. I think that's why CBS owns this one. I don't think I got any ABC shows. I'm not lifting these things up because they're too heavy to lift them all at one time. But if you've seen any of these TV shows, it's just like this. I can lift these two things up. I'll leave it in the comments. And if you liked them when you first saw them, or hated them, or anything, I know one day I would get the whole complete season of these things, the whole complete show. But when I bought these in 2007, this is all that was. These three shows, they didn't have them. They wasn't releasing anymore. And then after years later, they started releasing these things like hotcakes. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day. We'll have another video coming out real soon.